Time now for the weird and the wonderful. Joey Gallo, new Yankee. Oh, loves the short porch out and right. Going yard, 3-run shot in the 7th. Gave the Yankees a 5-3 win over the Mariners. Pretty wonderful stuff. But Kevin Wild, what else you got for us?
Oh, we'll start with the weird. Mets at Marlins, bottom of the 3rd. Rojas at bat. Little grounder into right field. Conforto kicks the ball. He said, oh, I read about the Messi news in Barcelona. If he's not going to sign, maybe I can get a tryout. Boom, look at this, guys. Boom. Oh, I don't know. Messi's going to get hundreds of $millions. Maybe I can get some. Marlins win 4-2. Messi's actually coming back to Barcelona. I think it's a tax thing. Anyways, on to the wonderful Phillies at Nationals, top of the 7th. Nats up 5-2. Juan Soto with the robbery. Great job. And then he also shows everybody. Like, people have been trying to play it cool, kind of Jordan-esque. Like, yeah, I caught it. Soto goes the other way, shows everybody the ball. So great job. Nats lost, though, 7-6. And finally, the weird Braves at Cardinals. Genesis Cabrera on the mound. Pitch gets away from the catcher. Runner goes. Cabrera just totally lies down. So, you know, it's nice. It's not only a bit of a mindfulness break. You want to just relax. Also, make sure you don't get hit. Just fully spread out. So great job. Cardinals lost, though, 8-4. And that's the weird and wonderful from the national pastime.
I like the glove. I like Genesis's glove. Let's get back to some hoops now. LeBron and the Lakers getting all the headlines this offseason after that blockbuster trade for Russell Westbrook. Not everybody is as giddy with the Lakers as, say, oh, I don't know, our guy Nick. Charles Barkley joined Bob Costas last night to talk about the King. Take a listen.
The reason I put Michael up there before those other guys, LeBron has stacked his teams. Let's be realistic. And
as Kevin Durant did and others have done.
And that's why
in their legacy?
Yes.
Russell Westbrook now on his way. It's a trade, but on his way to the Lakers.
So I do. Like what Giannis and Dirk Nowitzki, guys like that, especially Giannis is the perfect example. They go through the grind and to lose, which Michael did. Mm-hmm. When I was watching that documentary, I was like, damn, I forgot how bad the Pistons beat him up. But going through that struggle, that's what separates sports. Like winning all the time, like we all want to win, but the struggle is part of your legacy.
All right, Nick, what do you make of what Charles Barkley had to say there?
Listen, this is tough for me because I consider Charles a friend, and I don't know if people know about this, I've known Bob Costas for 25 years. Bob Costas was like a mentor of mine when I was a child. So it pains me to say this, but I don't know that Charles Barkley and Bob Costas would be the neutral arbiters of a LeBron Jordan discussion when both of their careers are so tied to the legend of Michael Jordan. And so I think that there has to, be a neutral third party, and I think I fit that bill perfectly. So I would ask the question this.
Perfectly.
Wait, what would... perfectly.
Like a glove.
What would...
Like a glove, buddy.
...people have asked LeBron to do? I'm just curious. Would they have liked LeBron to just stick it out in Cleveland? Because this wasn't a Durant, Oklahoma City situation where you have Russ and you had James Harden before they traded him away and Serge Ibaka. LeBron spent 7 years in Cleveland the first time around. The best teammate he had initially was Ricky Davis. It then was Zydrunas Ilgauskas. It then was Larry Hughes. And it culminated with Mo Williams. That Cavs team was so well-rounded and so well-built that the moment LeBron left, the next 4 years, they averaged 24 wins. His final 2 years, they averaged 64 wins. So it's not an exaggeration to say he was carrying you to, 40 wins a year by himself. So this is not a situation where a guy, and I can't think of a good example, but let me try to pick one out. Like, Charles Barkley, who was drafted to a stacked team with a bunch of Hall of Famers and couldn't win, and then was like, no, I need to go to a different stacked team, the Suns, and then couldn't win there. And then, no, let me go to a different stacked team, the Rockets, and couldn't win there.
Right.
That's not the situation. Situation is, it was a Kevin Garnett situation. I gave you guys damn near a decade. You gave me nothing. I need to move on. So, Brandon, what I want to know for the people that criticize LeBron for leaving Cleveland and not sticking it out, would they have rather he just stayed with incompetent ownership, incompetent management, incompetent coaching?
Right,
because
exactly.
that's happened to be where the ping pong balls fell. Is that what they wanted him to do?
Listen, Nick, you know what it is, man. We don't like the new school. We don't like what's new. We are stuck in our ways, and when someone disrupts that or someone's innovative, we want to talk about them. Look, you're right. You got Barkley at the end of his career. He goes down to Houston, joins Clyde the Glide Drexler, Hakeem, and then you also have Pippen there. So you did it. So how can you even be a part of this conversation? Now, if you're a guy like Dame Lillard, maybe I'll lean into this conversation and listen a little bit more because you didn't do that. Maybe if you go back and you're a guy that never, left your organization and you stayed there and you muscled it out, then yeah, maybe I'll listen to you. But this is the modern NBA, okay? Business is changing. These guys aren't sitting around anymore saying, you know what, I'm going to leave my career, my legacy in some old crusty guy's hands, some general manager, some owner. No, they're not doing that anymore. These guys understand the business around the NBA. If you're not going to put me in position, if you're not going to give me everything I need every single day to win, then I'm out of here. You like it or not, that is what the modern athlete is thinking. So for LeBron James to leave Cleveland and then go to Miami and team up with Wade and Bosh, you want to knock him for that? Think about this too. Chris Bosh, I love Chris Bosh, Hall of Famer. But Chris Bosh, he's not Kevin Durant. Chris Bosh, he's not, he wasn't Kobe Bryant. We're talking about Chris Bosh. Right. Now, Dwayne Wade, you can honestly say, that's my guy, my brother. But there was some years there where he was carrying D Wade. So I don't like it. I don't like this conversation because I would rather cheer for LeBron James. When you see a guy from Akron, Ohio, and he says it all the time, I'm just a kid there, that's a lot, man. This dude has done a lot for the NBA. This dude has done a lot for the players that came before him, the guys after. This dude needs to be cheered. This dude needs to be placed on a bigger platform and pedestal because of what he does for all of athletes around the world. So I don't like Charles Barkley going out there and saying this dude is next level leader, this dude is next level when it comes to how he conducts himself and handles his business.
Okay, so first of all, the Chris Bosh slander that you slid in there to a bunch of nice LeBron compliments. Chris Bosh could have stayed in Toronto and averaged 25 and 14 and not won a ring, and but maybe be remembered individually as a greater player. So Chris Bosh, as part of his greatness, he was willing to play the third wheel. I sacrifice. That's right. That's fair. Give Chris, yes, he did a great job. So I just don't want Chris Bosh to get a shot from.
No, I love Chris. Chris was great, but what I'm saying is, at the time, he wasn't a top 5, top 6 player in the NBA.
It's not like
was he even top 10?
That's fair. Fringe, I have to go back and Nick, I'm sure Nick will have it just 12, like this. Like, actually,
12, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it.
Kobe. You nailed it. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, so here's my take. Hold on just a second before we get back into the old year 20 years ago, 15 years ago. Okay, here's my take. Greatness and consistency are usually hand in hand, right? Jordan had Phil Jackson, had Scottie Pippen through his entire championship run. Tim Duncan had Pop his entire championship run. Kobe had Phil and was with the Lakers his entire championship run. LeBron's legacy doesn't take a shot or take a step down because he moved teams. Nick, I'm going to actually say it takes a step up. The same way Brady's took a step up. The fact that LeBron goes, winning follows, and we talk a lot about this with Chris Paul. Oh, look at the winning percentage goes up. But championships follow LeBron. You leave Cleveland, you go to Miami, you win. You go back to Cleveland, you win. You go to Los Angeles, you win. Eventually come to New York and win one. That would be nice. So, Nick, I actually see it the exact opposite of Barkley does. I actually think the more he moves around, the more guys get rings with him, and I'm not going to say he's carrying him, and that's why it's so interesting for this next Lakers team. If Russ can get a ring, if Carmelo can get a ring, I think it's less of a super team that LeBron is forming and more of like, look at this, I am a magnet to winning, and my legacy is that I am a winner wherever I go, versus a lot of NBA legends that say, I won in this place under these conditions.
I just think it's wildly unfair and ahistorical to act like there is a long list of guys who did what Giannis just did, which is why what Giannis just did is so remarkable and so important and so special. Like, people are like, oh, Duncan won immediately, didn't go anywhere. Yeah, man. He was drafted to a team that had a league MVP at the tail end of his prime in David Robinson. Oh, Kobe. Yeah, Kobe was drafted to a team with Shaquille O'Neal. And so, yeah, guess what? He won. Oh, Magic was drafted to a team with Kareem, a guy